Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. So, I'm like laughing because I'm tired. Because when Owen came home, he was very funny. He was talking about well, this part isn't funny, but the other is. He was talking about not wanting to go to the field, and then which I know the field. When he starts mentioning the field, he somehow has gotten it in his mind that he does not want to go to the events at the Special Olympics field anymore. And he never really showed much interest in it when he was younger, and it was kind of hard for him. And I think it's partly because it's so much going on and so chaotic when he's there. And I had given him Google Earth, and he was able to find the field and tell me that this was a while ago when I gave it to him, that he did not want to go back to the field where they had the Special Olympics. And he's been telling me that he doesn't want to go to field trips. And the only thing I can think of is that it's out of his comfort zone in the sense of it's not routine, and school is for school. And I'm sure there's numerous reasons or feelings and emotions and that kind of type of thing. But that's what I can come up with or think of through. But he came home talking about that, and then he started joking about pretty much everything else. Well, he gets it in his head that he's being, as he says, funny, and he doesn't really know. I've talked about this before, he's so funny, like, without even knowing that he's being funny. Like, he'll say things, and I can't even think of all the, things he'll say that I'm going to try to remember something next time so I can explain it better. But he'll say stuff, and he's just funny. Like, he doesn't realize he's telling a joke or telling something that is funny. But then he does the opposite, and he tells us something that is 100% not funny. Like, he'll talk about ripping books and licking someone, or licking his clothes, or something that is not funny. But he just thinks it's funny. And he likes to watch how you react to things. So that's part of it, which is, again, also hard because you don't know which way he's really thinking. Like, if he's trying to like, you can kind of tell he's trying to just, like, engage, and he's a teenager, so he wants to push buttons. He wants to get mommy worked up, and My brother was so good at pushing my mom's buttons. Um, the teenage years. It's the home of the button pushers. It's teenage moments in time. I don't know, but it's just kind of learning to work through that and know when to be more serious versus when you can joke around and act like those moments, which is hard because you don't know how to. You're learning so many things, and he's come so far, so he's definitely got a lot going on, and learning how to do all of this. So I'm incredibly proud of how far he's come. So, so when he came home, he was talking about ripping books. That was his big thing today. And I used the word ignore. I ignored him, but honestly, it's anything but ignoring him. It's trying so hard to just try to redirect him and focus his energy on anything else but him saying that he's going to rip books or he's going to do whatever it is that he's thinking is, again, a funny scenario. And I don't want to ever discourage him to be funny. I just don't want him to be mean while he's attempting to be funny. And that's kind of his learning curve and what he's got to kind of figure out. And he'll get there. I mean, he's doing amazing. He's absolutely doing beyond brilliant. It's just, like I said, trying to keep him from one excuse or another with the way he handles things. So, but we had some laughs tonight, and we had a good night. He's ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is his therapy day, and the dude loves his therapy. He loves pretty much all of his appointments, which when he was a baby, before I really even knew that he had autism, I always wanted him to understand that going to doctor's appointment, therapy appointments, dentists, all of that kind of stuff were there to help us and assist us, and that we were never to be afraid of going to these appointments. I had so many doctor's appointments when I was young, and I just dreaded going to them. I didn't, I was sick a lot, and just all the things that you can imagine. And so I know how I felt when I had to go to all of the appointments. So that's what I wanted to make sure with him, was that he didn't worry about that and he didn't stress about having all of that. And I worked really hard with him to keep him understanding that even after his diagnosis, and knowing for sure that he had autism, and now, like, he goes to the dentist next week, and I it's a follow a well check, a check. Even though I think it's so hard to just tell whether yeah. It's our monthly. I mean, our we go every 6 months. But he loves going. So I'm hoping he chews on so many things. So I'm hoping that he has not hurt his teeth. I feel like he's been chewing so much, and he bites down on everything. So I don't know. I'm praying that that is not hurting his teeth. I try to give him softer options, different options, but it's just not something that interests him. So I'm always trying to stay one step ahead of that type of thing. But it's very hard when, he'd rather chew his tablet case than the chewies or, distractions or something else. So, and it's hard to redirect my boy. But the exciting thing is he's been doing more of his own breathing exercises when he gets upset. When I told him that I was done with my cancer treatments, I said, "Do you know what that means?" And he said, "We get to go back to yoga." And he was right. That wasn't what I was trying to get him to really understand, but he was right. So I'm glad, though, that that's one of the things he thought about, so that he is realizing that he needs to do more of his breathing exercises and different things. So that makes me happy. So I'm going to sign O for Owen, and then L and B. So there we go. All right. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.